Hello, and welcome to the Cursed Content Club, where once again we get the Banana Slamma. With me, as always, as Dan and Bob Video Games from GigaBoots.com.
Oh, I thought we dodged it, but nope, it was there right at the end.
Back for more.
And KZ Excellent from KZExcellent.com.
Well, it turns out Dan was right. I said, we should come back to this in a year. And you said no. Well, it's been less than a year. You were so pumped.
And as KZ just gave it away, we are returning to Donkey Kong Country, the TV show, or you might say Donkey Kong Country, the animated series, second run.
One might say that the theme of cursed content has been a topical freeze, because here we are revisiting this.
The second gig.
Returning to this, Dan.
We did Donkey A, it's time for Diddy B.
On offer today, we will be watching the following 4 episodes. Kong for a Day, From Zero to Hero, The Big Switcheroo, and Vote of Kongfidence.
Ugh.
Don't worry, there's at least more than one season 2 episode this time.
I hope it matters.
Maybe. I took ones that were later on in the show and some that were specifically requested that needed to be shown.
Well, I doubt we have any different expectations than we did the first time.
No.
Other than the fact we all expect it to be bad.
I expect it to be incredible.
This is good research for DK64 because Rare loved this animated show so much they put many elements of it into DK64.
Yes, they siphoned its dark energy to craft the perfectly terrible video game.
I'm so excited for you to do a 29-hour stream of it.
I don't know, it seems all right, except for Frantic Factory, which is a war crime. Let's go fucking watch this show.
Okay.
And we're back. And if you would like to have experienced that with us, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you will get the commentary track for the 4 episodes of this hideous show we just watched, as well as many other benefits such as extended armchair dev pitches, where you actually get to hear our ideas, early access to Mondo Cool and Chugging Bleach, our anime podcasts, and access to Cursed Content by Committee, our user-voted cursed content show, and that also comes with a commentary track. It's a tremendous value. That's patreon.com/gbpodcasts. Now, Donkey Kong Country is a 1997 PowerPoint presentation. In this cartoon, the writers think you're an idiot and you desperately tear your face from the screen to escape the horrific visuals. That won't save you, though, because you still have to contend with the songs. So, Dan, was it better the second time?
No, it was much, much worse. Far fewer neurons fired. It's rock fucking bottom. The show really is just the worst of. We made this for kids, so we shit on a script and we're done. I'm going to go ahead and give this a -4.
Bob?
Yeah, no, this is even worse the second time. Because you're not even surprised anymore. I was a little surprised by how bad the animation was, but even that only lasted like an episode. Then it was just white noise. So yeah, this is -4. Like, the only thing worse is Channel Awesome.
And forward on to Dawn.
hey, maybe the third time it'll be better.
KZ?
This was hilarious. The animation somehow was worse than I remember it was. The plots were nonsensical, but I had a great time, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
This was terrible. It was deeply unfunny. It was hideous to look at. Every song was terrible, but I don't know. It was okay. I'll give it a 1. There was a lot of stuff that made me cackle at how fucking horrible it was.
What, like a bunch of crumblings that were copy-pasted and did not blink or move?
Yes. And then we had the last episode featuring presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg.
Budokan.
Well, wasting no time, because Dan challenged me to make this the shortest episode of Cursed Content Club ever. We're gonna go right into our segment. So Dan, start us off with your favorite character.
Fuck you, favorite character. Here you go, Dan. The desolate wasteland. You get to run into it.
What do you
first.
mean? Everybody's here.
Fuck. Man, Diddy Kong.
Why?
He didn't fuck things up too bad.
What are you talking about? That last episode, he's like, Donkey Kong, you should probably steal that and frame King K. Rool. That'll make people trust you.
And then he started cheering for King K. Rool.
Yeah, that's more tolerable than Candy, who was my number 2. Because Candy, every episode is just like, a minor thing has gone wrong. Fuck you, DK. See you in hell.
That's how it was in the 90s.
Tense. Diddy. It's not by a wide margin, but Diddy's mostly tolerable. The worst part of Diddy is this song, the singing voice, you know? The songs with Diddy in it are really rough, but aside from that, gonna go with Diddy. There's that good moment where Diddy's like, oh cool, I get to be the future ruler, and they're like, then you have to kill some Kremlins, and he goes, what? Oops.
I really didn't think this through.
KZ.
King K. Rool, he was very great. I like his voice.
It's pretty good. It's okay.
I think his overall acting is very highly animated. And that thing he does where his eyes get really big and his belly jiggles is really fun. It's their attempt to try and match the games where one of K. Rool's eyes is just always like fucked up.
Yeah. Bob.
You know, this is really a way worse set of episodes than last time, because before there were all the options like Leo Luster and the pirate dude that was like a reskin of another character.
You see, I assumed you hated the pirate character, so I made sure to not pick an episode with Scurvy.
But I guess my favorite character would be Dixie, because I don't think we saw her last time, and she seemed all right.
We did not.
Didn't.
She's loyal to Diddy. She was very insulted.
Yes, loyal to Diddy. Very not as quick to anger as Candy. Seems like
Large
a much more decent person. Yes, large pupils.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Crusher for my favorite character.
Yeah.
I think he had a surprisingly strong showing. He had the he impersonates Donkey Kong to make Dixie think he's trying to cuck Diddy.
God.
Just by the way, Phil asked me weeks ago, make sure you add in the episode where Donkey Kong cucks Diddy, which is the reason that episode was there.
It was also there because of the ass.
Yeah, that too.
And then at the end of the last episode we watched, he was part of de-escalation of a conflict non-violently. It was a very positive message for the kids.
He had a good arc.
That someone won't hit you if you do what they say.
Huh.
Great message.
Oh, we also found that his brain's in his butt in these episodes.
They implied it was in his head before and just fell.
I think that was the lizard, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Crusher is the lizard. Crusher is the big lizard.
Oh yeah,
big blue one.
True.
That Diddy Kong can't jump on in the games because he's too light.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's time for our least favorite characters now. I feel like we're in a target-rich environment on this one. So, Bob gets to start us off.
Donkey Kong's butt. They keep like placing it in the camera and focusing on
what was your answer?
Donkey Kong's butt.
That's fair. We established that you could pick next last time, so it's valid. You have anything more to say about Donkey Kong's butt?
No, it just kept showing up on screen. It wouldn't stop.
It did.
It's always horribly rendered, and they put way too much work into it. And I wish they didn't. I wish they just panned the camera up a little bit.
No. Monkey butt.
Dan.
I don't know. Everyone sucks. At least I didn't technically have a character stolen from me because I wasn't going to choose Donkey Kong's butt.
Are you sure?
Why not?
I'm gonna say Cranky Kong's pretty awful because he gets nothing done and just complains at everyone else all the time.
You know, I would have picked him, but in the season 2 episodes, he like starts almost being an actual character where he knows what he can extrapolate what has happened from the scene around him.
Yeah. Most characters in season 2 gain sentience
Instead of just reading through the script.
Yeah, I feel like you can have every episode of this series happen without Cranky. He's a weird, kooky inventor at one point. That's a little weird.
Yeah, that's
that's something they take for DK64. That's why he's a mad scientist in DK64.
Oh,
That's so stupid.
I'm pretty sure they just cribbed that from the game and not the game looked at the show.
KZ, the show came out first.
Yeah, but the episode we watched where he made the robot is from 2000.
But there's more. He's constantly making potions in the show first season.
There's no proof that they cribbed from a Canadian show.
They took the crystal coconut from it. Inka Dinka Doo is in one of the levels.
I refuse to believe that. That's shocking me to my core.
I don't like any of this.
You don't like thinking about Donkey Kong 64.
Or this show. They're both a fucking terrible mark on this franchise.
I'm going. It's my least favorite character. I'm picking the facial animations in the first 2 episodes.
God damn it!
They're alive.
They certainly are. KZ.
Why am I choosing
You
characters?
may
I could have gone with Bluster's Joker scar.
you could have.
God, stop talking about that.
Yes. All right. So my least favorite character is Funky Kong's head. It went some places throughout. Sometimes his jaw like bent and snapped. Also, his eyes in the first season. What's next?
Well, we have to go with our favorite scene, and I'll start us off with.
Oh, damn.
No, he already went first once. We have
I
to
know.
keep
I
to the
just like
platform.
torturing him.
My favorite scene is the part of the election episode where everybody is voting, and Bluster Kong looks at the Yeti, who is an idiot, and is like, "We each get one vote. You call this democracy?" and walks off.
He's like, I have the same amount of votes as him.
As the Yeti is failing to like write his name.
Yeah. The one monkey that's a different skin color. It's really bad.
It's a fur color. Thank you.
It's okay. They weren't talking about plantations in this episode.
Bob.
My favorite scene was when Donkey Kong was turned into a robot.
Uh-huh.
And Leo, God, what's his? Bluster orders him to get him bananas,
Mm.
and then to then crush them.
No. He says, and step on it.
Oh, and step on it. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And then he
actually,
poses up and down on them.
yes, it was the only moment any of us laughed genuinely at this show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I won't
that-
cling to it.
That was going to be my favorite, but that's okay. I've got a backup.
Ooh.
Well, Casey has a chance to steal it from you because he's going next.
I will never ever pick what dance is gonna be, so it's not gonna work out. There are a lot of scenes in particular that are psychotic for various different reasons. Let's see. I can't think of one that trumps everything necessarily.
I mean, you gave it a
Unless-
4. There must be highlights, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that's like that really stands out as one that I like, because I'm between a couple of them, like the Dixie Kong scene in which she's like, "Donkey, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to fuck me right now?"
That was so bad.
You know what?
Scene was-
I think when K. Rool returns the crystal coconut and goes, "Man, this is really easy,"
That was pretty good.
and then reveals, "I'll just steal it later, and no one will know."
And then he did it while everyone was there.
Right? Then he's like, what if I...
that scene in particular, where he leaves, then he comes back anyway.
That, you know, that thing that Dan
You're
talked about
questioning, you're like,
sometimes,
this makes no sense, but he still came back.
where you have an idea, but then you execute it in the worst way possible to prove someone wrong.
Yes.
That's what he did.
That episode was really good. What can you do? What is your big benefit, Donkey Kong? I do everything worse than everyone.
No, he does nothing better than anyone. Dan.
There's a part where Bluster thinks he's terminal because of a disease, and he goes, well, I'm coming up on a deadline. What a terrible thing to say. And he gets really serious because it's a deadline. Bluster thinks about his mortality, and for a moment, I relished it.
You're like, look at all this depth.
One of them are suffering.
Nice, the capitalist is dying, claps.
I'm really glad Bluster never made it into a game.
It's a shame.
Anyone else feel like Bob just cursed us?
No, it's too late. Rare would be the only people who would do it.
True, Nintendo has more sense.
I don't think Rare would do it. Makes no sense.
They took the
then
crystal coconut.
They'd have to pay Canada $50 million to get the rights to Bluster Kong.
KZ,
Probably not. Nintendo probably has some weird contract where it's like, we own all this shit.
they made Sea of Thieves. They'll do anything.
Do anything because they made Sea of Thieves. Microsoft's like, pirates, I guess.
They clearly are not of sound mind. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus.
Now we have to go for the least favorite scene, the worst scene. KZ.
Honestly, I think it's the one where they gave up in the robot episode during a musical number because it was just Cranky just making head puns.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real song, and you were confused whether or not it was happening or not, and it was. That's mine.
We going into a musical number? No? Okay. That's
No, we gave up.
They're like, yeah, it's happening. We're just not singing.
I'll go second. The fucking first episode where K. Rool's plan is to make everybody distrust Donkey Kong so he gets exiled. The part where they don't resolve it at all and the episode just ends.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts. I almost picked that as my favorite scene.
It upset me so much. Just a complete fucking refusal to make a television program.
Well, the resolution of the last episode we watched was even better.
That was a resolution. There was no resolution in the first one. It was just like, what happened to all that stuff? Like, they never found out that it was all set up. Oh, well. Sometimes they go, hey, Donkey Kong, remember when you fucked everybody that one day? Dan.
There was a musical number that was 95% Diddy singing, and I wanted to die.
Yeah.
All his songs are real bad.
Yeah, it's really dire.
It got a lot worse when early on, I think it was Feel who said it just sounds like Krillin, and that ruined me for the rest of it.
It's all so bad, and I wish I could tell you the specific words in the song, but at a certain point, you just stop hearing words, and you keep hearing shrieking sounds.
You just hear Krillin.
Donkey Kong!
It might have been the one where he was a machine now. Might have been that. I don't know, though.
That song was really bad.
That song had too much Donkey Kong singing, and I'm pretty sure there was one that had even less people who aren't Diddy singing.
Yeah, I think there was. Bob, take us out. With a gun, preferably.
The bad thing is I want to select all of the second episode we watched, but I know that's against the rules. That's too broad.
Second one was Bluster thought he was dying, right?
Yes, that
Second
one. Just
okay.
Every moment that we had to deal with more of him, I just wanted it to end.
Do you want to pick the scene in which he was imagining people going to his funeral?
No.
That takes place in the void.
Where they didn't know how, they had no way to animate them crying, so Candy just danced.
That was really rough. But you know what? I'm just gonna choose the scene where DK's hitting on Dixie Kong.
Yeah,
Which it wasn't even that episode, but it was incredibly uncomfortable. It's like, okay, is Dixie a child or just a monkey? I'm not sure, and this is really creepy.
Probably just a monkey.
He's like, hey, girl, you fine. And she's like, what?
Just the fact that her pupils just become 8 times larger like they're plates.
I'm really looking forward to the person in the comments. Actually, that wasn't Donkey Kong hitting on her.
That was Crusher.
He was doing an impersonation.
Yeah, and then that whole scene's also terrible because she's looking directly at Donkey Kong and hearing the other guy talk and believing it's Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong can't hear the other guy at all. It makes no sense.
Whatever, Cinema Sins. Dang.
Dang.
Just if they did one of those videos for these, it would just be a constant ringing sound that was the ding going.
Every single time there's a facial animation. Ding, ding, ding,
Yes.
ding, ding.
It was innovative for the time.
Well, we sure fucking whipped through that. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Donkey Kong Country?
Not only was this so awful, it makes the argument to cancel DK Month right now. I feel like it makes a really strong argument for never revisiting anything ever again for cursed content that isn't Isolation 119.
I picked that one, so I want us to revisit it.
No, that one's hilarious. Unintentionally or otherwise. Donkey Kong Country TV series is nowhere near as hilarious as Isolation 119.
It's true. Isolation 119 is a fucking champion.
Follow me on Twitter and I'll kill for you.
I bet Crusher would do that.
But he didn't.
Yeah, probably.
And that's the problem.
Well, they didn't have Twitter back then.
I wonder. Every time I rewatch this show, I start thinking about the Starship Troopers CG TV show for kids. And I feel like that show has to be better. And it scares me.
God, what a dire period.
You know, I think about before we started doing podcasts together, just like last episode, I think about that episode of Gamer Tapes you did, where they showed a preview of this show, and you're like, no, I tried to avoid this my entire life. And I'm like, one day I got to get them to watch it. And then I was so happy we did.
And then you got to do it again.
And thanks to the audience giving you way too much money, you have arrived again. I'm forever grateful.
This was bad. Luckily, we never have any reason to ever watch it again unless they revive the show.
Don't put that curse on us.
One, I'll agree to that because that's impossible.
That's impossible.
Hey, if it comes back, it might actually be good. It could have the Sonic Boom Riders or something.
Yeah, and that'd be great. Man, imagine we got to watch Sonic Boom instead.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Well, at least you're all done with Donkey Kong content, right?
Sure. If it gets me through the night, I'll lie to myself. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Thanks, Rhodey. Bye, everybody.
This month's GigaBoots videos have erupted into reality thanks to the money magic of our executive producers. Esme, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Spaceman Spiff, Star Falcon, Danny Richardson, Red Blaze 27, Zenki Kongetsu, and Adam Admar. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these guys. If you want to become powerful like our executive producers, you can head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.